So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Keep It 100 with Meshell.A. Listen, I want you guys to take a minute and I want you to share this video. We are going to be talking about healthy relationships on tonight. This is part two. And we want to know, what does a healthy relationship look like to you in your family, with the people on your job, with your spouse, a healthy relationship in the church, a healthy relationship within yourself. So that's what we're going to talk to our guests on tonight. I am fully loaded, but I'm super excited because they have been on the show several times before and they are amazing. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. We do have some people who are coming in. They're going to be coming in late. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring these people up. And let me also say, if you have not purchased your eyeglasses and iWing Eyewear, we need you to go over. You can get them online at iWingEyewear.bigcartel.com. All right. Khadijah, you a fool. All right. So go ahead and let everybody know who you guys are and where you are from.
Well, I don't feel like I have to keep introducing myself. Y'all know me, Khadijah. I am in Milford, Delaware.
I thought you was gonna say a whole lot. I thought she was gonna give this great big introduction. All right, sweetie, go ahead. You can go.
Yeah, I keep it generic too. My name is Meshell.A. I'm also from Milford, Delaware.
All right, so you already know, you guys know what the show is about. Micaiah, I hope I don't butcher your name. So like I told you earlier, if I butcher your name, just smile and answer the question. All right, so as you guys seen, I'm fully loaded. I got a lot of questions. I want to talk about a healthy relationship. So my first question, Micaiah, is what does a healthy relationship look like to you? Because some people think that they are in a healthy relationship. And then I'll say this, most people nowadays are so dysfunctional that they're living and loving their dysfunction and thinking that it's healthy. So what does a healthy relationship look like to you?
To me, a healthy relationship starts with good communication. Definitely a lot of compromise, making sacrifices, doing things that you wouldn't necessarily want to do, but just meeting your partner somewhere in the middle. And I think that's
Okay,
one of the core foundations of a healthy relationship.
that makes sense. I think communication is definitely important. I'm Khadijah. You've been in a lot of relationships. So what does me too? That's not nothing bad, girl. Listen.
Listen, I've been in situationships.
Oh,
Okay.
situation. Wait,
Like,
that's a little worse. You should have just said relationships.
no,
So
I don't
what?
claim them men. Okay, I don't claim them.
So what does a healthy relationship look like to you?
To me, I think first and foremost, respect. I think respect for your partner, respect for their feelings, understanding of one another, and adoration for each other. I feel like you kind of have to adore the person that you're with, or you're gonna feel obligated to them, if that makes sense.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so listen. So when I ask you questions, some questions I may ask, and they may be pertaining to you, but for the most part, we'll talk about the third person. Okay. So this question that I'm going to ask right now: have you ever been hurt in a relationship, and you went into another relationship and used them as rebound? Have you ever been hurt in a relationship and then you went to another relationship and you used them as a rebound?
Me personally, no, I don't believe in rebounds.
I have, sorry. I have.
Yeah.
More than
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, I mean, that's never been my style, like, I don't, first of all, I don't have the kind of time to like invest.
Somebody said guilty. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only person being honest. Because
That's a
listen,
lot of time. That's a lot of energy to put into like just, you know, I mean, I
but
don't,
you know what? You know what? You sound good, and I know you a good man. Welcome, Justin. You a good brother, and all that kind of
Hello,
stuff. But
hello.
listen, there's been some times, y'all know I'm 52, so I've been there and done that. But there's been some times that I just wanted what I wanted right then, and I was vulnerable and all that kind of stuff. And this person kept wanting to be in my space. So I'm steady saying, I just got over a relationship and I miss him. So in order to get over I don't do it no more, but in order to get over the other person, I did kind of bring them in as a rebound. And then when I got better, brushed my shoulders off, I went to the next person. And I've also had it done to me over, how they say you reap what you sow? Ooh, you reap what you sow. Khadijah, so have you ever?
Like I said, I've had a lot of situationships. Like, okay, my situationships, yes. Okay. And when I say situationships, I mean people that we are acting like girlfriend, boyfriend, but they never actually asked me the question. Absolutely, 100%. I would call someone over, and then I realized after the person I called over, I don't even like you. So then I, just. But if it was someone I really was into and I was in a for real relationship, no. I really had to get over that.
So listen, so when we say relationship, I guess you have to ask yourself, what does relationship mean? Because relationship doesn't always mean you are my partner, you are my lifetime partner, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend. Even a friendship is a relationship. Now if I'm gonna ask you about relationship like that, I'll say committed relationship. So
Okay.
relationship, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just talking about relationship in general.
Okay. In general, yeah, I've done it probably like twice, and I just end up cutting everybody off. I just got sick of everybody. They just all got on my nerves. Cut them all off.
And you were just they were just rebound. Okay, Justin. So first of all, let everybody know who you are. I love you so much, but let everybody know who you are and where you're from, and then I need you to answer the question.
Cool, cool. I guess I came in at the wrong time. Cool. I'm Justin Alexander. I am from Camden, Delaware, and I'm glad to be here.
Good. Okay, so the question was, have you ever been hurt and went right into another relationship and used them as a rebound?
Sure enough.
Oh,
Ain't gonna lie.
listen. So I'm sitting here like, okay,
Uh-huh.
all of us have done it,
Yeah.
but this one over here,
All
now,
right.
that's
All right.
one.
So let me. All right. So let me say this.
I ain't gonna
If
fault
I've
that one.
done it, I
Look
wasn't
at.
aware that I've done it. Let me put it
Oh,
that
I
way.
was.
So my
I
my
commend you,
intentions
bro, because I was a
weren't that.
total opposite.
No,
He's a good
so my
person.
intention. So the way I'm interpreting the question is like, okay, I got hurt, so now I'm going to move on to somebody else and use them as like literally use them because somebody else hurt me. Like I've never
Wow.
done that.
Well, listen. So when you go in, well, most people, I'll say I haven't just used somebody, but I got into a relationship because I was hurt, and I used it as a tool to get over the person
Yeah,
that I was
yeah.
with. I didn't
Ain't wanna
intentionally say,
ain't
"Oh,
wanna
hey,
fix
I'm
that.
gonna go and hurt that person." But then that person is all in love and want to be with me, and I'm like, I really wasn't feeling you like that. I wanted to get this nigger out my mind, negro, sorry,
Yeah.
out my mind. And you was like the pillow that just got me over. So now you in love and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that's not really what I wanted. That's what I'm talking about.
But
Oh yeah,
listen,
yeah.
I've always been honest though. Like you can ask
Sure enough.
anybody. I've been honest. Listen, I ain't finna do this. This is what I want. This is what's gonna happen. Blah blah blah. Whatever happens after that happens. Because they've always been honest
Yep.
with me. So I
That's
Yeah,
feel
the
like
thing.
you
yeah.
know.
So
That's the
don't you
thing.
think people that go into that knowing, like they know, as they said, as TD Jake said, you went into it with your eyes wide open, you know it, and it happens. Do you feel guilty? Do you feel sorry?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
straight
To
salvage.
me, if you know, especially if it's been vocalized, it's just like when you get a text at 11 o'clock. What you doing?
That's a booty call.
Clearly, is no one is Boo Boo the fool. Clearly, you know.
All right, now I agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. I'm always honest about my intentions
Oh
the
yeah.
jump.
Okay, but wait a minute. Sometimes people, I won't say that they are a fool, but sometimes people really they really enjoy your company. They really want to be with you. They really want to, they are over, they don't hear that you're saying no, that I don't want anything serious. And they will put themselves into it thinking that they can be the one that can switch you over.
It's
I
ego.
think that's where people go wrong.
Ego. It's ego. They have and in their head that they're gonna be the one. That's all ego.
Yeah, I've been in a
Yeah,
few of those where they thought we were in a relationship when they were in a relationship and I wasn't. So I've been there.
Delusion.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't consider. Oh, okay. So you've been there, but it wasn't like you just got over somebody else.
Nah, it's never been. It's happened after I've been in a relationship, but on my perspective, I've always made it clear like I just got a relationship. I'm not trying to do anything more. Maybe just good vibes, hang out, or whatever. Now, if they fall in love, that's on them. But I've made it clear. My conscience is clear on that.
Okay, so let me go to the next question. Like I said, I'm fully loaded, and I'm asking those who are watching, who are viewing, to please share this live on tonight. Okay, so my next question is: have you ever dreamed? No. When is the last time that you dream? I want to get this out the way. When is the last time that you dreamed about your ex? And that ex that you dreamed about, do you think they possibly could have been the one?
Can I go?
I must have two responses for that.
I actually had a dream about them last night.
Oh,
But pause. I'm gonna tell you the dream. I'm gonna crunch it down. In my dream, I was working. I was busy walking around trying to sell something to people. I asked him, he was like, no. So then his girlfriend that he's in with a relationship now comes over and starts, rubbing on him and stuff. I was like, okay, went about my way, continued walking around trying to sell something. He kept trying to get my attention and he kept telling people to support me while his girlfriend is sitting there rubbing on him and stuff. I'm over here working, not paying him no attention. He's calling out my name, telling people to support me, and his girlfriend is trying to get him to look at her, but he's looking at me. So when I woke up, I took it as I was over him. That chapter is closed completely. So it doesn't matter what he does, doesn't matter what he goes about. My attention is no longer on him. I did think he was the one for a long time. But there were certain things that was going on where I knew I was worth so much more than what he was attempting to offer me. And he said to me one day, and I'm going to say it here, I don't care if he watches, I don't care if his family watches, I don't care. He said to me one day, and this is really what made me be like, oh, no.
Hey, this is personal.
It is. I was like, oh, no. He said to me, he could see us in the future, married, right? Not to each other, but hitting each other up to sneak out and go meet. I cussed him out. Because how dare you? How dare you?
Hey, so this was in a dream?
No. This was in life.
And you cussed him out?
I cussed him out, Shell, because how dare you diminish me to that? If I'm married, you think I'm worried about you? Child. So I ended it completely. I said, God, this ain't it. It never has been it. Thank you for this eye-opening experience. And
so let me ask this question. All right, guys, I want you to remember what because I got a question now on top of the question I just asked y'all. So as a guy, what vibe did you just get from Khadijah? Like, what did she what do you think is going on? What, as a guy, what did you hear?
For me,
I love it. Okay, go ahead.
I was about to say, I would definitely say hurt, but at the same time, I can respect anybody that's willing to put themselves before any kind of emotion. You know what I mean? I can respect that because I'm just like, well, that tells me you ain't easily manipulated. So I can respect that.
Okay.
For sure.
I really can.
For sure.
I wish a lot more females would be like that.
Okay.
And
so
that's no shade to y'all.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
You asked me if I agree. I
Yes.
agree. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay. That's the vibe you picked up as well?
Yeah.
He tried.
I think yeah, I mean, I definitely do see some hurt though. I mean, it sounds like somebody that
it's a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a
you
little
really
bit.
like this guy. You like this guy.
I did. I really did. I was really into him.
Yeah,
and mind you, all this is fresh. So I ended it all at the beginning of this year. So it's still stuff that I still kind of have to process through. But when I'm done, I'm done. I'll go through the hurt. I don't care. But when I'm done, I'm done. That's for sure.
All right. So that's why I wanted to hear from a male, because I was picking up the same thing. And if I say it, it's just me saying it. But from a guy's point of view, I wanted you to see and hear what it is that they're hearing and seeing from you. Okay, so now I need you guys to answer the question. When's the last time that you dreamt about your ex? And do you think that ex could have possibly been the one?
So yes, and then no. So to answer that, the one question, just don't believe in it in general. Nah, she definitely wasn't it. I knew that for a fact. So to answer it, so the dream I had was, and of course, I think it was for me, it was definitely confirmation. It was something I knew, but something I didn't want to kind of accept or whatever, because we've been friends. See, I'm 28. We've been friends since I was maybe 13 or 14. So it's like we've had like a long friendship, and it was like, well, everyone's pushing us to get together. Let's see if this would work. Clearly, it's not gonna work out. And so in my dream, and the crazy part, well, I'll say that later. So in my dream, I was actually married. And so in my dream, seeing her didn't pay her no mind. Clearly, I know our history, keeping it pushing, keep it moving. And so she had asked me if I was happy. And I did my best to ignore her until like in the dream I got frustrated. And I was like, yo, I can't talk to you because I might end up losing out on the girl I'm with.
Wow.
So, just leave me alone and let's just keep it pushing. We had our thing, but I'm good. You good. There's no issues. Let's just move on. And so like she had like a little attitude, but in that dream, there was a dude trying to get her attention. And I was just like, you don't see that dude's trying to get with you. And I can tell that's a great dude. Why are you focused on me and not him?
Wow.
And I woke up. So God's honest truth, maybe not even a month later, she has a dream and so does my brother, almost exactly the same. She tells me, she called me like crying in the middle of the night. How? I don't know why I answered. Don't know. Shouldn't have answered. Whatever. So this was a long distance relationship. So I couldn't get up there anyway. So, and then she couldn't come down here. Like a 2.5 hour drive. That wasn't happening. So in the dream, she's out on a date at a nice restaurant. She's telling me, she's out on a date. She's having a good time. She sees me walking in with another female. And so in the dream, she tells me, not once did I ever look at her, but she tried to get my attention. And I was like, well, did you ever get my attention? She said that she had to force me to talk to her.
Oh, you was
in the dream, she was saying that you was talking about you were happily married and you didn't want to be seen talking to me. I didn't want to be seen talking to her because I don't want my wife to think that me and you still have something going on because she knows we used to be together.
Oh, wow.
And so she tells me I ended up canceling my reservation to not cause my wife to think that me and her was talking. And I asked her, and then she had said she had woke up. So I asked her, said, so you was out on a date and you just left your dude there? And she was like, well, I needed to get things off my chest. That's how she felt.
So maybe
and
she think like, you the one. You still the one.
And you want to know what the crazy part is? We're associates because my family and her family, like I said, known each other for years. But it's crazy because she knows it, and we've had other people say that same thing. Y'all are not meant for each other. And it's just like, I don't think we can even be associates at this point.
And those are normally the main ones. But listen, let me do this real quick. So I asked the question, and as you guys already know, I showed y'all I'm fully loaded, right? So that question was already there. So I'm not going to say the name, but I got an inbox message from one of my ex-boyfriends that this was like, I think we were together. I might have been 21, something like that. And so it says, I'm going to read it in detail. I'm not going to say the name. And it says, too funny. It says, I definitely dream of mines. You definitely were my one. I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make this
Tell
stuff
him
up.
energy. Bring the pressure.
But I was young and dumb, and he was young and dumb, and we went our separate ways. We've always remained friends, but we don't we don't come in contact and all that kind of stuff, may reach out. And I was in love with him. I was young then. And I don't even know what happened. I think we just went our separate ways, you know what I mean? And life took a turn in different areas. So and he always makes sure that I know, but it was just funny that that was in my inbox when I asked that question. So I just wanted to share it. Listen, you never know.
I
Never
will
know.
say, and this goes back to my not believing in the one. I think you can just have there can be genuine love between you and a person, and even though it don't work out, but it can legitly be genuine.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
and listen, I believe this is just for me. It would definitely have, and this isn't any of my ex. It would have to be God because I believe that an ex is an ex for a reason.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yo, you my ex.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I don't burn bridges. I felt like if I was in a committed relationship and they gave me a title or I gave them a title, I've introduced them to my family, then I'm still friends. I'm friends with them. There's no sex. The sex is not
Yeah.
in it, but I'm
Yeah.
still friends with
There's
them.
respect.
And I know I don't. I just believe that you can be friends with an ex and they weren't the one. If it's the one, it would definitely be God because for me, an ex is an ex for a reason.
Period.
You know.
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead, Micah Mallet.
Oh my gosh.
He said, "Oh my God, I already told you what to do."
It's getting worse and worse. No, but yeah, I was hoping. I hope none of my exes are watching this because I don't have many exes. All my relationships are like pretty long term. So I'm gonna try to keep this as like vague as possible. So yeah, one of them I have like frequent dreams about for some reason. I don't know what it is, and it's never like nothing crazy, nothing bad. It can just be us just like walking in the mall or just walking and talking or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go in details, but
You don't have to. I'm just wondering, like, so my ex, I had a dream about him. This was years ago, but I was running like hell to get away from him. He was running after me, and I
I
mean,
had
I
one
was
like that.
running. When I woke up, I was sweating bullets. Like I was literally trying to get away because, like, no. So I just know, but I know in my mind, I don't never want to be with that ex again. Our relationship is good, but what we had in the past was damaged so bad that I'm just like, I'll say no, no, thank you. So I'm wondering if does it mean that there's not closure in some, because you can be with an ex, but it not be closure.
I don't think I
I
have.
was
I think that's the case for me. I think there's some things that
I think you
that
just
was
holding
unsaid.
on.
I
I think
think
you just
so.
holding on to your exes just in
Yeah.
case.
I actually
What's
had
that sound
closure
like?
with an ex maybe like
Oh,
last year.
my! I'm good with all my exes.
No, no. The thing is, I don't talk to like I don't have a consistent communication with none of my exes. I don't
Okay.
at all. Yeah, some of them I haven't talked to in years, and
Okay. All
So,
right. So I'm gonna go to the next question. All right. So should your family function? I'm sorry. Should you have? Oh, okay. Should your family function daily with kindness and compassion? So every single day, should your family be functioning with kindness and compassion? Is that a must in a relationship? Like every single day?
Yeah.
Yes.
You think so?
Yep.
All right. So if that doesn't happen, then what could be the results?
Now, how are we defining compassion? Because when I think about compassion, I'm not just thinking about love, but I'm thinking about you're compassionate enough about me to be like, yo, get it together.
Yeah, or
You out
even
wilding.
checking up on you or the things that you're experiencing in your life. Am I compassionate about what it is you're going through in life? Because like I said, some families, some people are just so dysfunctional that that's just you over there. You strong enough to deal with that. So, you go through whatever you got to go through, and I'm over here. I'm talking about are you compassionate enough to sit down and help that individual? Is your family like that? Not your
I think
family,
it builds
just in general.
resentment. And
Say it again.
I think it builds resentment and then questioning not just yourself, but also questioning, well, these people, I call them family members. should I really be doing that? And I say that one because I had an ex, in a dysfunctional family. And that's not just the words I use, but the words she used as well. And it was just like, you confide in me because of how dysfunctional it is, and it became to the point to where I've been called a rude person. I just call it honesty, where even I had to confront siblings and her mom at one point because they're just like, well, know what? I can't take this. This is wild. The way y'all talk to her is just,
Wow.
it's not going to be it. I mean, clearly we're not together to this day, but whatever. But I really think it builds resentment and really questioning, like, okay, cool. Am I good enough to be loved or to have those feelings, reciprocated to me?
Okay. And so that's the negative results if there's no compassion and kindness in your family. Okay. All right. You guys go ahead and answer.
Yes, I say yes. Obviously, we live in reality, and it might not come off that way every single day. Especially if like you have kids and they go through what they go through when they become teenagers and the scheduling, and you might be busy and you might be frustrated one day and your partner's frustrated. Like I understand, like we live in reality, but I just feel like at the end of the day, if you both can kind of just sit down and realize that there's something wrong going on and that the atmosphere in your house is not the same and it's not compassionate, it's not kind, and you can figure out how to, get it back to that place, then absolutely.
Okay. That's good. That was good. Good response. All right.
Yeah, that was great. I agree completely with completely. Yeah.
And she had her answers
I was
written
just
down.
like, oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
She got cue cards somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel wifely today.
Yeah.
She got a ghostwriter writing her answer.
He just shook his head like, no way possible. She couldn't have thought of that on her own.
Right.
All right, Micah. Did you answer? Micah? Did you answer?
No, I agree. I agree with what she said.
Oh, he just sitting up there smiling.
Yeah, literally did what she said. Just,
Okay. All right. So, should forgiveness be a must in any relationship? Should forgiveness be a must in any relationship? Yeah, it should be.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Part of me wants to say no.
Justin, come on, Justin. I'm living for your rebuttals.
And well, first of all, the MA logo fire. I just looked at that.
Why? Why?
The
Thank
logo,
you, sweetie.
They're on fire.
Why?
So
Thank you, sweetie.
the kind of person I am, and God knows this, and I'm sure he would co-sign, if he wanted to. I know for me, the type of person I am, I'll let you know. Like, I'm not even going to say it if I don't mean it. So whether it's me forgiving you or me saying I accept your apology, I'll let you know, like, might just want to hold off on that, or I'll say it when I'm ready. That's just where I'm at. Like, I'm not going to lie and be like, I'm sorry. And it's like, I don't mean that. Or I forgive you. And it's like, no, I don't.
Got you.
Okay.
On top of that, what is the best way to solve a problem when you have a problem with your family? Just say a generation, it's been something that happened and it happens generational and it comes to you and you're just saying, you know what? I'm going to handle this. So how would you handle it? Whatever that it is, how would you handle it? Because it's got to do with your family. How would you handle that? Y'all, wait, hold on, wait. So each one of y'all sat back to think like, honey, this is something real. I got something to say anyway. Because listen, the reason why I asked that question is because there are people who are dealing with family issues and they don't know how to handle dealing with their family. I know it's been a couple years ago. I had something in my heart concerning my parents, and it was just me. It literally was just me, and I wasn't bold enough to share my truth. And so I prayed about it because I didn't want to go in the wrong spirit, but I could not live in this dark place any longer for myself. It was taking me on a roller coaster emotional ride. And so I confronted them. I sat down and talked to them, and neither one of them said anything. They just listened. And when I finished, it was my truth. I was like, I don't like being a preacher's kid. I don't even know why y'all started a church, because I don't like the church people. It was just my truth. It was my truth, but it had to do with them. And when I finished, my mother goes, she said, "Are you finished?" And she said, "The reason why I asked you, are you finished? Because if you're going to go through this healing process, I need to make sure that you get everything out." And I sat there enough because I wasn't expecting for that to be her response. I was expecting for her to fuss and come up with 1,000 reasons why. And she didn't. She just said, "Is that it?" And I just said, I sat in my truth after I released it, because this was healing for me. And I said, "No, I think I shared it all. I think I just needed y'all to listen." That was the only thing I needed. I didn't need no answers. I didn't need to know why. I just needed to be heard. And in that minute, both of my mother and my father, they sat and they heard me. And once I released that, I never had nothing negative. Like I got told something I won't go into details, but I would never let anybody talk it, and this is live and I'm hoping to hear it. I would never let anybody talk to me negative concerning my mom and my dad, because it was such a dark place for me then, that there's no way possible I'm gonna let nobody else speak into my spirit. So when people say that, I'm looking at them like, "You lying. That was a whole lie that you just told me." You know what I mean? And I had to keep conditioning myself, because the enemy is so cunning that he will try to put a wedge and make you think it's something when it's not really anything. So how would you, again, the question, how would you go to your family member and say, "Let's talk about this," so that you can be free? Not even them, but so that you can be free.
For one, go ahead, please. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, for one, I think it's incredible that you told you spilled your heart out to your family and they were receptive to it without rebuttal. Like, that's, to me, that's like rare, especially in families. I feel like with families, it's like, especially when it comes to like generational curses and things like that, it's so hard to like unwire that it just stays buried for so long. And I feel like
Wait,
some,
let me say this before you go on, because that is so true. But the thing is, I've held on to it for years. I'm talking about, and it was my stuff. It really wasn't something they did. It was my thinking, my thought, the way that I was feeling. But when you give space and time and you don't confront a thing, then the enemy's job is to come in and make stuff look like what you're thinking. It's not them. So one thing my mom, she shared with me, and when she shared with me that one thing, I was looking like, "Oh, I didn't know that." It had to do with the lawyers and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was my family being funny. But it had to do with the lawyers. The lawyers told them they could not do a thing, and they just didn't share it with me to cover me. And for all the many years, I held on to it. So listen, I be listening to people that be saying that you letting somebody come and speak. No, you lied. You lied. You're lying. That's a whole lie. And sometimes out of respect, we let people say stuff to us, but it's really the enemy trying to create something else. And I'm just like, that's a dark place. I cannot go back to that place. I'm not giving them that. So yeah, it wasn't that it just happened overnight. It was something that it took years of preparing for. Like, cause I had to fast and pray. Like, God, I want to make sure I go in the right spirit. I'm not trying to prove anything, but I mean, to the point where it was giving me suicidal thoughts.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share that.
no, yeah, like I said again, that's great. A lot of families don't have that, and I think it just comes back to like communication is definitely important, but it's hard to have that with family. And I've been in situations where like I thought the worst of a situation before I got like the actual factual information. But sometimes it's hard to have that conversation. So now, I just, in my mind, I just try to like automatically not think the worst and try to say, well, maybe it's me. You know what I mean? I try to reflect in myself first before I project that outward. So maybe that's not the best response to this question, because
Oh, no, you're good. I get it. So if you were bold enough or what have you, then how would you handle it? You're saying you wouldn't handle it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm definitely I definitely would address it now, but I've seen times where I've like
That's good.
harbored things in,
Ooh, that's good.
and didn't express myself, and I kind of like held uh like low key grudges against like certain family members and things like that. But as I got older, first of all, as you get older, your perspective changes on everything. You don't just listen to one side of a story. You understand that there's always multiple sides to a story, and it's just up to you to decide to find that median and what could be possibly true or
But
not.
and most times you may not find that middle place. You may not. Somebody just said a while ago, like it's not your responsibility how they respond. And I think most of the times that's where we're stuck of thinking, oh my God, if she say something smart, I'm gonna go into her mouth. Like I got some family members that I have to avoid, or I have to wait, or I'll be like, King Jesus, can you come down there and say something to them? Because I'm probably gonna cuss them out. You see what I'm saying? Like if you want me to say something, I'm gonna cuss them out. But then you have to use wisdom because you can make a matter worse. So, but it's got to be some kind of way. It's got to be something where we can respond to that, Khadijah. And then after Khadijah, we're gonna have a short commercial, and then we're gonna go right back into our next question. That's what Khadijah was supposed to be telling y'all. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought, okay, you know what? Okay. That is so funny because God actually took me through that beginning of last year. And it was very emotional. It was very emotional. And your mom actually walked me through it. So it was I think in it the cousins, we basically kind of grew up all together, and we realized that a lot that we thought we was going through alone at the hands of aunts, uncles, whoever, that we weren't going through it alone, that we all were going through it. We were just too afraid to speak up about it. And we all got on Zoom, and it was Zoom and this other app called like House Party and a prayer line. And we just hashed out what needed to be hashed out. Was everybody receptive? Absolutely not. But we didn't. I think in the beginning it was kind of hard because we wanted everybody to be accepted. But then it was like, I just felt the need to tell everybody it doesn't matter. I had to tell them, I was away for the family for 10 years for a specific reason. It doesn't matter. Just accept the ones who are ready to go through that process of healing. Everyone else will just come after. Have I gotten everything out? No. But that process alone was a lot of healing for me. And I was able to get the remaining of it out through prayer. There's a lot of people who I feel like you said, I should say something and I should make you feel how I feel and let you know what I did wrong, blah, blah. But it's like, God is like, for what? For those people, Khadijah, you're wasting your breath. And I'm telling you right now, you're wasting your breath. You're not going to get the closure that you need. They're not going to say, I'm sorry. You're just going to be talking to a brick wall. So like you said, it took a lot of discernment on who I could open up to, who wasn't just going to take what I said, gossip, and then turn around and cause more trouble, and who was actually receptive to hear how they were wrong and why they're wrong, and who wasn't. And I don't know where everybody else in the family stands. Personally, I don't really care, but I know with me, I am healed. I know with me, I can hang around my family and love them. One of the aunts who gave me hell, who tortured me basically, she didn't say sorry, but she kind of made it known that she was aware of what she did. And when we was coming back from my little cousin's funeral, she paid me my sister's way to get home. And to me, that was huge because I was like, oh, okay, well, Lord, I know we can't take everybody's money, but I'm taking this cash. You feel me? Like, that's some gas, that's some food. So it was just like those settled moments that I just knew God was in it. It was time. I needed to be healed. I needed to be over. And everything is just said and done. Now, the rest of them are going through their process. They can go through their process, but at least you have one of us who went through it. So whenever God is allowing me to minister in that way to the people who need it, I will be ready for them.
That's good. That's good. And for everybody's situation, well, not everybody, for a lot of people, it's a process. because just because you're ready to release and let go, they may not be ready to release and let go. The timing could be wrong. You know, sometimes we feel like I gotta get it off my chest. I gotta get it off my chest, and then you go to that person without praying and seeking God and asking God, is a timing? And either you get your head blown off, or y'all get fighting, or what have you. It was the wrong timing. So I also still believe when it comes to family, you have to be spirit led. Like you can't just go off of I'm just doing it because they need to hurt. Because I can come to an individual. I've seen a plenty of people who addressed something and it was their hurt and they addressed it, but they addressed it the wrong way.
Wrong way.
Just for instance, and I'm not being shady. Just for instance, like when Khadijah shared with us a while ago, and I asked them, "What did you see?" Now, when she gave it, I'm quite sure she had no idea that that was what was going to be seen. And a lot of times that's how we come off on people. Like, well, when I was little, you molested me and I this and I did. The way you just came off on that individual, now they're probably going to be defensive and you might not hear I'm sorry. But if you be prayerful and you go in the right time and you may hear, for instance, then we're going to go to our commercial. I had a family member that had molested me when I was coming up, and it was a girl, and she seen one of my shows, and I was talking about it, and I said I'm healed and I forgive her, and she reached out to me, and she said she was sorry, she didn't know, and so I told her in detail to remind her. But by that time, I had the spirit of grace and mercy on me to give to her, if that makes sense. You know, and I was like, you know, it's a part of my testimony now. You know, I'm not there. I don't, you know, I'm not pointing the finger at you. I use it as ministry. She cried like a baby and said that she didn't remember. And then she shared to say her mother did it to her. And so I guess she thought that was a way that was an excuse. I'm just sharing my truth, how I got free and delivered, but it was the way that I went about it instead of da 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 da. All right, that makes sense to you guys. All right, so we're gonna go with our commercial, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we are right back. So, do you believe that as a Christian, you should be the first one to let go and walk away? Do you believe as a Christian that you should be the first one in a relationship of any kind, whether it be a relationship with your family, whether it be a relationship with the people who are in your church, whether it be in a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, whether it be in a marriage? Because you are the Christian, the spiritual one, do you believe that it's always right that you should be the first one to walk away and let go? Holly, that's loaded. Woo, Jesus. But go ahead.
Nah. To me, I don't necessarily think, yes, as Christians, we have guidelines, but I feel like that really, it has something to do with it, but then it doesn't. I think it's more so that you know it's time for you to go. I think that Christian part of those guidelines is that push of, hey, you know it's time for you to go. You're not just feeling that way, but you know it's time for you to be out. You need to be out.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like as a Christian, you should be. I'm talking about letting go as far as even something somebody did to you or something somebody said to you or somebody wronged you. Should you be the first one to apologize? Should you be the first one to make it right? You know, I want you to hear my whole question of what I'm asking you.
Yep.
All right.
If we're supposed to live by example, then yes. If we're supposed to, or doing our best to live by example, then yes. But at the same time, we're human. We always won't be that first person.
I was getting ready to ask you. So are you always the first person? I know you.
Oh no.
I
know. I ain't gonna call that one.
I knew he wasn't. He fixed that up so good. I'm like, well, wait a minute, man of God.
Oh no.
Man of God.
Sure enough, ain't.
He said no.
I know I can be petty, so. But if we're supposed to be living examples,
you trying to make me dress tonight? Somebody said.
Listen,
Oh
we should because we're practicing being that reflection. But oh no, listen.
my God. Listen, honey, these people is speaking tonight.
Come on,
Wait a
Tati.
minute. Okay. All right, Khadijah, let's hear what you have to say. So, because I'm a Christian, I'm a good Christian, should I have to be the first one to walk away and to let go, to release it, and let you have peace, let you have peace in spite
Listen,
of
we
what
both
you
not
think?
gonna have peace if
Because
it's
I'm a
me.
woman of God, I'm gonna walk away. Listen, I'm gonna say you piss me off, and I'm mad. I probably would say some other things. God's still working on me. Okay.
You too.
Okay. Look, she done put her lip gloss. Oh God.
So, growing up, my father always made me apologize, even when I did nothing wrong. Like the person could
I still don't
literally
understand that to this day.
listen, pissed me off. Okay, and to this day, that is the one commandment that me and God go back and forth about. Because why? Okay, why did you make that amendment? Okay, no, I'm playing. All right, so
Wait, Khadijah, but hold on. I think that I know that pissed you off, but I think that's a good thing. I just
it
because
is.
it allows you to live a life of being able to forgive quickly. Because if
It
you think
is.
about it, most people they have a problem with letting go. They have a problem with forgiving. They hold on to things. And I'm a living witness that when you hold on to things and don't forgive, it will make you inwardly sick. It will make you depressed. So if your father taught you that,
I'm so
even though
sorry.
when you were younger, it seemed
I'm
weird
so
and you
sorry.
didn't like it, but when you matured and got older, like you could use it because forgiveness, I say it all the time, forgiveness is really for us. Like, they get a piece of it, but forgiveness really sets me free and takes me out of the box. So I think that that's a great thing, because as you're older now, you can use that to your advantage. Like, I'm just going to forgive you, let God deal with you and move on.
It
Now,
wasn't great back then.
and
It wasn't great when it was happening. I
that's
didn't.
what I'm saying.
I was so mad. I was like, but dad, like, he didn't. He wasn't trying to hear nothing. He made me apologize and But now I see. Now that I'm older, I find out that I'm more empathetic and understanding of people. So I'm like it's still. I'm still working in the area of just letting things be for real. Like that is so hard because I just feel like people can be really dumb sometimes. And I just don't. The math don't be mathing to me. And being being prophetic and being an introvert, I'm always in my head. So, I'm always thinking about, well, why this, why that. But I think it's hard and it sucks, but I do think it's something that we absolutely have to do because the world is unforgiving. The world holds on. The world wants to cast you down and point fingers and make you feel bad. But if we're supposed to be like Christ, how many times he forgive his disciples? A lot.
A
Okay,
lot.
they got on his last nerve, but he forgave them every single time. So
I'm always talking about the process. I believe that forgiveness, I believe that if you hold on to unforgiveness, it opens the door for other spirits. So
yes.
for me, when my son was murdered, I didn't let go quickly. I went through a process because I was holding on because I felt like if I let it go as a Christian, I let my mom and them do that because they were good at my mom and dad is anointed to forgive people. Listen, hear me when I say, and I'm not just saying that, I seen it in action. They are anointed to forgive people and let them go and then let them come right back and do it again. I'm standing back like, you did it once. I wait for you to manifest again because I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But I learned that when my son died, I learned how to forgive because I forgave the gentleman that killed my son. It was not easy, but then in forgiving him, there still was so much other things that I had to release and let go because I held on to it for so long. But now it becomes ministry. You see what I'm saying? So God always has the bigger picture, and we get stuck on what happened, what they did, why they did it. But you never know. God may give you a platform like this, and like my strength is to talk about forgiveness, to talk about and I talk about how unforgiveness will open a door for bitterness, rage, hate, all that kind of stuff because I housed all of that and it came from unforgiveness. So I learned to let go. And then if I'm having a hard time letting go, I'm gonna walk around you. I'm gonna walk around you until I can let go. I don't need to be, you don't need to be in my face because honey, I don't trust my flesh. So I have to move outside of the box, get myself together, and then come over because I've never been fake, nor have I ever been phony. Okay, so now let's do this. In if you are a what is that introvert out? What is it? How do you
Introvert,
introvert?
extrovert, or introvert?
Okay, so I think I'm both. Okay, so if you are the one where you don't like being around people, which one is that?
Introvert.
Introvert. Okay. So I'm the type of person where on the outside, I'm touchable to people. People love me. I speak, I smile. But when I'm home, I don't want to be bothered. Don't come to my house unexpected. Don't call me. I know I don't want to go and hang out with a group of friends. No, when I'm home, I like my quiet time. Okay. So say that you're in the ministry and that's how you are, and you're sitting in the back of the church and people judge you for being funny. People judge you for not being a part. So how would you, if you're the other person, how would you develop a relationship without, I mean, I'm sorry, how would you develop a relationship with that individual without crossing their boundaries? I ask that question because you have a lot of people who are in ministry or whoever on your job or what have you, and that's how they are. They're not being funny or anything, but then we are so judgmental that we make it something that it's not. So, as a person standing on the other side, how would you develop a relationship with someone like that? And Khadijah, I know you're that kind of person, but how would you develop a relationship with that kind of person?
From personal experience, just be friendly. Like I think people kind of overthink it, and I think when people see those kind of people, they think they need to be like fixed or something. Like you can be my savior or something, and it's like no, I'm actually very secure in myself. I'm actually reading the room right now. I know it's a lot of people who are introverted are extremely observant, and 9 times out of 10, if I get around a group of people, it's because the vibe is off. And I'm feeling something really weird, and I need to read the room. I need to see what's going on around me. But if you're like always up in my face,
Yeah.
why are you up in my face? Okay. I seen you when you stood up and you gave your 10-hour sermon on why you loved your pastor. I seen you when you went from the back of the church to the front just to shout. I seen you.
So petty.
Okay. I already seen you. What more do you want me to see? Okay. I already see you. So I feel like if people just relax, be themselves, and just be friendly, I'll eventually open up, but also don't push me. I had a boyfriend and he always just pushed me to be social. But I told him I don't like being around groups of people because I pick up on everything and it's too much. And he just always pushed me. He used to make me so upset because I'm like, if you know I'm not a sociable person, why do you keep putting me in these sociable situations and then requiring me to become a person that you want me to be? I feel like if you just let me be me and let me open up in my time, you'll see I'm great, right, Shell? I'm great, right?
So listen, so when you said that, it made me think about the first time that I seen you. I met you. I think you were walking home from church or something. And when church is over with, for the people that know me, when church is over with,
I don't know.
it ain't even got to be over with. I'm out the door. I mean, and I'm not saying I don't believe in hugs and all. I do, but I'm just like, leave me alone. I got the word. Peace. I even do it on Zoom. So this one time I went past her and I knew she needed a ride. I'm like, oh God, Jesus, pick this girl up. So I picked her up. I didn't really know who she was, and it was quiet all the way until she got home. Like I ain't saying nothing to her. She ain't saying nothing to me. And then I think we were in revival or something like that. Wait a minute, she said I'm rude. I'm not rude. So listen, and so each and I think I asked her, did you need a way? Did you need? And so I started picking her up. And then piece by piece, I started talking to her. She didn't say much. And then she started responding. And Nick, I don't even know what happened because I felt like I didn't want to get in her space and I didn't want to know her enough for her to come in my space. If that makes sense. But then I kept being nice to her. I kept being kind to her. She kept being nice to me and being kind to me. And it just automatically, the bond and the relationship just developed because I didn't want anything from her and she didn't need anything from me, I think, at that time. And
Mhm.
so that goes along to what she was saying, like, just be there, let it go naturally. And when it goes naturally, I think that's when you can create a bond. But if you're always in my face,
It seems so fake. Like it's just so forced, ungenuine.
and some people don't know that. Okay, Justin, your response, and we're gonna get out of here because we're gonna get out of here exactly on time. Y'all look at that.
I
So
don't mind.
like I said, I got other questions. So maybe go ahead, Justin, give your response and then we'll go from there. I got one.
I'm a big believer that boundaries will just be crossed. You
He
know,
said,
even if it's not intentional, it just will. I have friends. I am a mixture of the two. I can go into a church service with 50,000 people and I'll be like, this is
that's
so nice.
good.
But at the same time, I'm the type of person I'll look at you and be like, well, if Jesus wanted to talk to me, he could have talked to me in my room. You know, so it depends on how I'm feeling.
Because he looks side to side like just can talk to me in my room.
Just I'm like, Lord, you services from 11 to 2. You talk to me at 1:50. You could have did that at home. Just kind of person I am. But to me, be yourself. Boundaries will get crossed no matter what. You know, I'm the kind of person I can be all in your face, and then it could be my birthday party, and I'm the one that's like, I'm ready to go.
That's me.
You know, and so I say that because just if the friendship don't build, oh well, you know. But I just think boundaries are just going to get crossed. You know,
I think people that know you, people that you allow in your space. For me, I'll say me because my circle is very small. I have few friends, but I have a whole lot. I mean, I have a lot of acquaintances.
Acquaintances. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah,
I have
more
a
than I
lot of them.
realize.
But my
Mm-hmm.
circle is very, and
Yeah.
my circle is small. It's people who've been there 15 years, 10
Mhm.
years, 20 years. People that know me and know that some of the stuff I do, they don't take it personally. They're just like, that's that's just Shell. I think that you need people around you who are willing to learn you,
Mhm.
people around you who don't get offended by some of the things that you do. And a lot of people don't have people like that. Okay, so this is my last question, then we're going to go ahead, we're going to get out of here. Okay, so if you looked in the mirror at yourself, at your wonderful self, and you ask yourself the question, what can I do to be a better friend? What would that be? What can I do to be a better friend?
I've
What
actually
does
asked
that look
myself.
like?
I've actually asked myself this question. To me personally, I feel like I could be more open to what they have going on, but not take on their problems. I feel like I've taken on a lot of my friends' problems. So as I've gotten older, I'm 28 now, almost 30, but I'm 28 now, and I just feel like I'm at a point where I don't want to take on your problems, and I feel like in the past year it's coming off as if I'm being cold shouldering them, but I'm not. So my prayer has been, God, how can I still use my heart towards them and be that empathetic support system that they know and love, all while keeping my peace and my space in the process. So I really, right now, that's actually a process I'm going through in my friendships, because I want them to know I'm still your friend regardless, but you're not finna drain me and give me nothing back in return. So that's where I'm working at right now.
Okay, that's good, Justin. If you
For
look in
me,
the mirror at yourself,
it would be
Not being
allowing
petty.
those in my that's one thing, but Jesus must be petty if he made me. So we gotta talk
oh
about that.
my God,
So I
him
would
and
say
Jesus.
allowing my friends to actually be a part of what I have going on. And I say that because I've come from a place to where, waking up sucked. It was like, okay, cool. I didn't like myself. And it was just like, if you didn't wake me up today, I would actually be grateful for that. I'm still here. So it was just like, I want to be here,
Right.
But I've gotten to the point to where it's like, I like the person I see in the mirror, and it's like I'm pro me, to where it's like, you want to know what? I'm not going to wait for someone to make me feel good. I'm just go out. If I want to go to Six Flags for a weekend, I'll go by
Just
myself.
go.
You know, and it's like I have close friends even now. Like, yo, bro, you always doing stuff. You're always supporting us, but you don't let no one support you. Why? You know, and it's like I don't do it on purpose, but I do,
Yeah.
because it's like I'm
It's the
cool, you know,
introvert.
it's all good, but it's like
It's the introvert.
they really want to be a part, and it's like, you want to know what? I really need to start letting them just show love.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's
So
good.
they say that I'm the best friend that's always there but never present. So
I
Ooh.
connect with that, Justin. I be going
Ooh.
on lunch by myself and everything, and my friend always like, "Why didn't you invite me? You just
yeah,
don't need nobody." I'm like, "It's not that. I
Yeah.
just wanted to go to lunch. You weren't available."
yeah,
I'm the same way. I would say for me, I would be I would open up more. I'm learning to do that. But if I looked in the mirror and I said, what can I do to be a better friend? I would say I would put down my walls and let them in more. Like I said, my friends can be knocking at the door. If you ain't call me and tell you coming, I'm looking in the peephole. And but listen, and I'm so petty. My girlfriend Nana is on here. I'm so petty. I'm not that person I don't want you to know I'm not there. No, I want you to know I'm there. So I'm scratching the door, I'm doing all this stuff as I'm looking in the people because I need you to know I'm there. But you ain't call me and tell me that you was coming. So I would say I would put my walls down and let them into my space, my life more. I'm such a private person. I'm not because I'm sneaky. I'm just when it comes to my emotions and different things. Look at Nana. Nana said, "I told you I'm rude." I'm not.
She
But
is rude, man.
I think I will. I think I would let them into my emotions a little bit more. All right. So listen. So is it? Oh, let me go ahead and give you guys my floor. I'm thinking, like I said, I didn't realize I had so many questions. So maybe we can do a part two, Khadijah. Not next week though. Okay. Well, wait, we can't do this next week. This Thursday, tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything Thursday because I got uh, um, a convocation to go to with Pastor Joel Adams. He's having a convocation. So we won't be doing anything Thursday. I'll be doing like a rerun. It'll be live probably, but it'll be a rerun and we'll go back to next Tuesday and next Thursday. But we'll stick on this because a lot of people said that they, have really been helped with the relationship talk. And so we'll finish it up next week. Some of our people had to go, but I want to give you my platform, and I want you to reach out to that individual who is mentally struggling with that word relationship. Just that whole, like a while ago when we were talking, and I was saying relationship is much more than just a relationship between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. It's that whole relationship word, relationship with your family, relationship with your kids, relationship with your spouses. Next week, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna be talking about relationship from grown children and their parents, that part right there. And we're gonna bring some children on. When I say children, I mean like grown kids. And then a separate time we're gonna bring some parents on. And how do I correspond with being in a relationship with my parents? And so that word relationship is so much bigger. But I want you to reach out to that person who just literally has a problem with the word relationship. I'm Khadijah and then Justin. What would you say to them?
Um, take the time that you need to get over that word. I know a lot of people kind of rush people, especially when it comes to relationship, because everybody wants to feel like they know when someone should be in one, they know when someone should heal, or they know when someone should get over stuff, as people would say. But you take the time that you need in order to heal. Know that God's grace is there for you and it's sufficient. If you, again, as I always say, if you lean on Him, if you depend on Him, He will surely 100% cover you in all of those areas. whatever trauma that you have that is centered around those relationships. If you feel as though it's time to deal with it, deal with it. But just understand at some point you're going to have to. Healthy relationships is possible. Healthy relationships are out there. Just work on yourself. Work on yourself 100%.
How's it going? First thing I would say is, you. If you're dealing with hurt from a relationship, you have every right to be upset. Your feelings are valid. If you're hurting, you have a right to feel hurt. That's unfortunately, that's your truth. But know that you can overcome and will overcome that. And that just takes time. It takes acknowledgement, it takes prayer, and then it takes also, like we talked about earlier, looking in the mirror and addressing what is it, what's going on. If you've been the one to be the person that hurt someone else, then that's going to take something a little different. That's going to take accountability and saying, I caused this and I need to address it with that person and let them know, you want to know what? I'm sorry. That's another thing. As Khadij has said, healthy relationships are out there. They are possible. It takes hard work, it takes commitment, and it takes honesty, not just with that person, but also with yourself. So I go back to saying, you know what's going on. Take the time to address it with yourself first.
So you guys are so amazing as always. I'm super excited that you guys trust me with your truth, trust me with your stories. If I was to say anything, I would say really, really short. If you don't believe or trust that there are healthy relationships, if you've been in relationships where you seem like they've been dysfunctional or they've been not healthy, sometimes look in the mirror and make sure that you are healed and that you are whole yourself. Because sometimes we can be in something and our perception of the way that we look at that thing may not be the way that it really is. So if I've been rejected and I've been abandoned the beginning of my lifespan or the majority of my lifespan, then and I've not been healed or delivered from that thing, every other relationship is going to look and feel like what I'm familiar with because I'm familiar with dysfunction. And so that is what I'm going to always crave for. So I'm a great cheerleader when it comes to being healed and being whole. It starts here first. I can't give you nothing that I don't have. So if I'm not healthy and I'm not whole mentally, physically, I can't give that to you. And I can't even see that until I'm whole. If that makes any sense. All right, guys, you guys have an amazing night. Do it on purpose. And we will see you, what, Khadijah, next week? You're on mute.
Next week!
We will see you on next week. And again, if you guys have not got your eyeglass, your spectacular eyeglasses, you can get them at iwinkeyewear.bigcortel.com. Khadijah?
She actually didn't even play her little commercial either, y'all. She had a really cute like little thing going on. She didn't even play it.
I'll do it. I did it for
That's
the vlog.
fire.
I did it for
That's
the
fire.
vlog.
That's
I
fire.
did it for the vlog. Listen,
That's
I love you guys, and so we'll start working on next week's show. I think that I thought that this was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was very informative. That's what we're here for. A lot of people who are in relationships and they don't know how to speak what they feel or speak their truth. And sometimes God uses other people, puts them on platforms, and we share our truth, our mistakes, and boom, somebody else can get healed by our mistakes. All right, you guys have an amazing night. Do it on purpose. I love both of y'all. And we also want to say thank you to Micah. Yes,
You did
for
it.
joining us. All right, good night, guys.
Good night.